Hi lovely Lightworkers and Starseeds, and welcome to my channel and this pick a card reading. Now this is the very first pick a card video that I've made. New to pick a card videos, not new to tarot reading, been reading for decades. And right, so I'm going to be choosing some cards. I've been told exactly what cards to choose. If you're new to pick a card, I've got 3 crystals here. I've been told exactly what crystals to get. Rose quartz, amethyst and smoky quartz. Now, if you want to choose, if you've already chosen from this, then the timestamps will be in the pinned comments and also in the description to make it easier for you to click to. If you want to go straight there, then please feel free to go straight there. I am just going to be picking the cards as I've been instructed to for your reading. Now, pause if you need and to choose your card, and if you are called to more than one, then please feel free to watch more than one. It's absolutely fine, watch as many as you wish. Remember, the readings are general, they're not for, and not everything will resonate. So if something doesn't resonate, obviously take what fits and what doesn't. Now, if you're watching if you pick a particular pile and you don't resonate with it, feel free to pick a different pile. It may suit you better, fit you better. And what else have I got to say? Now, I don't know exactly what this reading is going to be about. I know it's for light workers, and I know it's for Lightworkers and Starseeds, and I know it's going to be about ascension and awakening. Now, as far as I'm aware, we're going to be getting to a higher level as we possibly can with this. If you're finding you're not understanding anything that I'm saying at all, please feel free to pick a different pile. I'm going to let Spirit decide, obviously, at the level of the reading that's coming out. Obviously, there'll be different levels, different messages, obviously, going on there. So, right, I've just got one more to shuffle, and then you can pick your pile. Now, one thing I do know for absolutely sure is that Spirit and me and Spirit are very excited about this reading. And I woke up to lorry loads of spirit guides all hanging around, spirit guides and higher selves and angels hanging around, excitedly waiting to tell me stuff, to tell my spirit guide stuff. Now, my spirit guide's been working really hard, taking lots and lots of messages. They've also let some spirit guides into my aura, which they don't very well. They have done on occasion, but it indicates to me that there are some people here who have a very high vibration and are very well ascended. So I'm hoping I can get the vibration up high enough for you. I've been told exactly what to do, so I think that's done. We'll start off with these and then we'll get some tarot. We've got some other stuff as well for you, so let's just get straight on with the reading. Hi pile 1, if you picked the rose quartz, and isn't that quite funny, the love card, because I'm sure you all know the rose quartz is all about love and self-love and gentleness. And I do get a feeling, even before I've looked at any cards, although what this obviously confirms it, is that this is a lot to do with love, loving the self, loving others, and self-compassion as well. That came through very strongly. Self-compassion, ascension and awakening is a very hard process, and just be gentle with yourself as you're moving forwards. And it's strange that pile 2 also got share the love. They also got a card about love as well. So let's see what other cards we have here. Before we start, there was one more urgent thing they wanted me to tell you. Now I don't like very much talking about myself, but I was told I had to. Now this all does have a point, I promise you. I have a very guilty pleasure, and my little guilty pleasure is to have a nice glass of wine in the evening, and also a little snack. And I know that I shouldn't. I like red wine and it stains your teeth, and then there's all the extra calories, and it causes holes in your aura. So I know that practically I shouldn't be drinking. And then when I wake up the next morning, I feel guilty because it's like, oh, you shouldn't have been drinking. And when I woke up this morning, I suddenly realised that the thoughts that I was thinking that I shouldn't be drinking, because last night I'd obviously been led to have a little glass of wine and a snack. How the universe does prompt you to do things. And so I woke up this morning with the same, oh, you've eaten too many, you've had too many calories, etc, etc. And it was like, I suddenly realised that these were pre-programmed thoughts, and that it was my decision to continue to respond or continue to play those habitual thought patterns over and over again. And these thought patterns were taught to me. You have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. As spiritual entities, that's not the way it works, is it? And I do get that that's really strongly linked with the self-love, with the self-compassion. Yeah, we are human beings, and we're not going to get it always right the first time, and this is a learning process, and it should be fun and enjoyable. So if you're finding you're being a little bit too hard on yourself, please give yourself that love and compassion that you give to other people. Right, so what other cards do we have here? Let me make sure these are all in shot. That's incredibly funny. That is incredibly funny. Morality. How do we chain ourselves up to false concepts, false ideas of morality? If you can see, she is just chaining herself up. Absolutely chaining herself up with morality. If we want to become the master, if we want to master this, which we do, we have to let go of these ideas of morality. What does a spiritual person do? What is a spiritual person? What's the right thing to do? What's the wrong thing to do? Sometimes we have to move out of our comfort zone, and sometimes we have to examine those thoughts. Why am I doing this? Why am I thinking this? And remember, life is a journey. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be fun. It is meant to be fun. And we have one more card, the Lynx. How? Look beyond immediate appearances. Wow, I get now why I had to tell the story. That fits in perfectly, doesn't it? Absolutely perfectly. Sometimes we do have to examine every thought, every belief, get conscious about everything that we're doing. Don't just keep moving on and on through repeating cycles. Question where that came from. Is that the truth? Is that helpful here? Is that not helpful here? And I understand now why I had to give that example. Right, we're going to be opening the Course in Miracles at a random page. the journey back. The difference between imprisonment and freedom. Right, I am going to read just the first paragraph of this one out. I didn't think that's what we were going to do, but it seems that it is. There is a rationale for choice. Only one teacher knows what your reality is. If learning to remove the obstacles to that knowledge is the purpose of the curriculum, you must learn it of him. The ego does not know what it is trying to teach. It is trying to teach you what you are without knowing what you are. It is expert only in confusion. It does not understand anything else. As a teacher then, the ego is totally confused and totally confusing. Even if you disregard the Holy Spirit entirely, which is impossible, you could still learn nothing from the ego, because the ego knows nothing. Wow! How utterly well does that fit in? We have to trust the path as we're moving forward. We have to trust where we're being led. And we have to listen to that voice. Now, if you're not in touch psychically and intuitively, if you don't read for yourself, if you don't meditate, I've done YouTube videos about psychic ability, intuition and psychic ability. I've done videos about tarot reading, meditation. I've done all kinds of videos. There's more on my membership site, on my website as well. Now, where are we going next? Excuse me. Now, we're going, I believe, to get some of these. These are I can't remember exactly what they're called. I will try and write the names of the decks that I know the names of in the description. Let's see what we get. Strength. Where can we put these? Strength. And the Emperor. Wow, two major arcanas. Two major arcanas straight away there. Strength and the Emperor. This is all about moving into our power. Our power is spirit, as I've just read from the book. Following that guidance, but that guidance is us. We are that strength, we are that power, we are the Emperor. And stepping into that and moving into that, controlling the ego, mastering the ego and taking back power. Surrendering is strength. Surrendering to spirit is surrendering to ourselves. Right, let's see if we can get a few more cards here. Let's have a look what was thrown out here. The Fool. Oops. See if I can put that there. The Fool. The Magician. Once again, love. That's what spirit's all about, isn't it? Love. Victory. And interference. This is clearly about new starts. The Magician in this deck I always take to be about communication. New starts with communication. I get that when I certainly found that in raising my energy. I'm sorry that I keep leaning on the table and it keeps wobbling the camera. I'll try and remember not to do that, but I apologise for that. Spirit are going to be communicating with you much more strongly. As you raise your energy, I've certainly found that the the communication gets stronger, it gets clearer, and it gets more consistent. There's new starts around communication, so please make sure you're tuned in, you're listening. No, you're already tuned in. Sorry, I got that wrong. Don't be surprised. Sorry, don't be surprised if communication does pick up here. Yeah, you know when it's coming from spirit, and you know when it's coming from the ego. If not, you can always use divination to clarify for you. You know, if someone's telling you to do something that, sorry, if the inner voice is telling you to do something that's clearly not in alignment, then it's clearly not spirit. Nothing, sorry, everything that comes from spirit is going to be love. Spirit want you to know that they are sending you love. Victory, the 6 of Wands, victory. Wands are always about spirit, they're always about fire. This is swift movement here, is what I'm seeing. Interference, obviously the Swords cards, this is the 8 of Swords, interference. Swords are always about the mind. Now let's be clear about the distinction here. There's the thoughts and there's the mind. The mind is of the body, the physical, the brain, the mind is of the body, yeah, and it's about this card particularly. Sorry, I can't get my words out. Just see how overthinking can block you. That's exactly what they're giving me here. This is about overthinking. Don't overthink things. No, we're going to get an Esther and Abraham Hicks card, I think. One Abraham Hicks card. I can get from an unwanted to a wanted relationship. They're specifically saying with spirit. Let me read this out for you. As you walk away from one unpleasant situation, the law of attraction will bring another that feels very much like it, and usually quickly. You just cannot get from there to there. To get where you want to be, to that place of feeling better, you have to reach for alignment between you and you. Getting yourself feeling good before you take action is always the best process. When you do not feel good, you cannot be inspired to any action that will solve the problem. This is about the new way of communication, isn't it? If we're always reaching towards love, if we're always reaching towards that positive feeling, we will be more inspired to be inspired by spirit, to be connected in. And I think that's a lot of what they are saying here, that focus on the emotion, focus on that feeling of love. That's where we started, wasn't it? The feeling of love, and then whatever action comes from that will be inspired by spirit. Absolutely. But certainly the theme here is love. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that reading. I certainly did. I would appreciate any support you can give me and my channel. You can do it for free by liking, sharing and subscribing, etc. You can follow me on social media. The link will be in the description. The link to my website will also be in the description. There's also my PayPal tip jar. If you wish, if you felt that you've benefited from this and you would like to give back a little, I would always appreciate that, no matter how small. And I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I hope it's been helpful. I hope you resonated. I hope you resonated with it. And I hope to see you in another video. Bye. Hi pile 2, if you picked the beautiful amethyst ball. Now, to me, amethyst is always about the crown chakra, obviously being purple. It is all about spirituality, and it is all about connecting in, and obviously that is what we are looking at here. Thank you. Sorry, my guides have just said something to me. It is. I know where this is going. Okay. This is all about. Obviously, this reading is for Lightworkers and Starseeds. If I can get my words together, this reading is obviously for Lightworkers and Starseeds, and it obviously is about awakening and ascension, and obviously naturally it's about spirituality, but particularly in this reading, because if you saw the piles, the first card, I don't know if you can see them, the light, I checked the recording and the light was shining on the card, so I'm not sure we can see all the cards, but this is share the love. This is not just about getting into the love energy. This is about sharing the love, because obviously we give what we get. Sorry, I'll start again. I think the problem is that when we get to a higher vibration, we get very, very right-brained, don't we? And we lose a lot of the not functioning, like the words, etc. Because we get more highly connected, more highly attuned. Now that's obviously a message that's come through for you, so if that happens to you and you didn't know why that was, then now you do. But this is all about sharing the love, and I get a feeling here that in this group, this reading is particularly all about getting into that light worker role and getting the love out there in whatever form that takes, whether that's a business, whether that's a practice, whether that's your family, whether that's whatever that is, whether that's just sharing kindness with the world and the universe as a whole, whether that's charity work, I don't know, you know, but this is about sharing that love. We've also got porcupine, free yourself from guilt and shame. Make sure that what you are doing is guided to you. Don't feel that you have to do anything, that spirit wants you to do anything other than connecting with spirit and feel joy and love. Sometimes that giving can come from a place of love from spirit, and sometimes that giving can come from learned thoughts, beliefs, energy, experiences. And this card asking you to free yourself from guilt and shame. Any fear-based response is unwanted here. This is about coming from that place of love and connecting in with that. And remember, when we are out in the world giving, like I said, what we give we get back, and in it the exact energy that we give it. I'm going to pull before we do that, I'm going to pull an Esther and Jerry Hicks, Abraham Hicks card here. There you go. They put it so much better than I ever could. Every thought is attracting its vibrational essence. If you are giving in from a position of guilt and shame, or whatever the lower vibrational energy is, and I'm not saying there's any emotion, any thought that's wrong. No thought, no energy is wrong. But if you are getting back what you are not wanting, it could very well be your intentions behind your giving. So carefully examine that. That's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. I've done videos on blocks and block removal. There's more on my membership site, on my website. I'm going to be just about to, I'm so excited to be starting this soon, hopefully. I'm going to be doing a whole bundle. I don't know how many videos it's going to be. It's going to be a long one on ascension and awakening. And if you go to my website, you'll be able to see there when it's started. If you sign up for free stuff or you sign up for updates, I'll let you know when that's available via email. I don't always get regular emails out, but I do try to keep my email subscribers updated as much as I possibly can. Right, I'm going to read this one out. Whether you're thinking about wanted things or unwanted things, you are still sending out a request to attract more things like the subject of your thought. And all things that happen to you, all people, things, experiences that come to you, come in response to your vibrational invitation. Noticing how things are turning out for you is one very clear way of understanding which vibrational request you are emanating, because you are always getting the essence of what you are thinking about, whether you want it or not. Exactly, pretty much exactly what I've just said. If you are not sure what energy you are in, look at what it is you're getting back. What you're getting back is not so much your punishment or reward, but it's a vibrational match to the energy that you're giving, and it's so important to make sure that we watch out for that. Now I'm just going to very quickly here, I'm just going to open randomly my Course in Miracles book and read that out to you, because I know I'm reading a lot here, but this is the way that they're guiding me to do it. So the two worlds. Okay, this is quite a long paragraph, so I apologise. You've been told to bring the darkness to the light and guilt to holiness. Oh, guilt again! Guilt again! And you've also been told that error must be corrected at its source. Therefore, it is the tiny part of yourself, the little thought that seems split off, separate, the Holy Spirit needs. The rest is fully in God's keeping and needs no guidance. I apologise, I'm just reading from the book. I don't usually use the word God. I know a lot of people have religious trauma, but I'm just reading from the book. Yet this wild and delusional thought needs help, because in its delusions it thinks it is the Son of God, whole and omnipotent, sole ruler of the kingdom it's set apart to tyrannise by madness into obedience and slavery. This is the little part you think you stole from heaven. Give it back to heaven. Heaven has not lost it, but you have lost sight of heaven. Let the Holy Spirit remove it from its withered kingdom in which you set it off, surrounded by darkness, guarded by attack and reinforced by hate. Within its barricades is still a tiny segment of the Son of God, complete and holy, serene and unaware of what you think surrounds it. Wow, that fits in so well, doesn't it? That fits in beautifully. It's all error. Any lower vibrational energy is simply an error of thought. You are still who you are. You are still whole, complete and perfectly safe in the kingdom of God. Sorry, I'm using that word term again, but this is obviously what's coming through. I apologise to anyone who's got religious trauma. I know it can be traumatising hearing that word because of the way that word's been used to us, but you're still whole and complete in source, because you are spirit, and any thought in opposition to that, any thought in contrast to that, is simply an error. Right, let's get these cards. Transformation, tuning in, an inner voice. Yeah, transformation is going to come through tuning in, through getting more connected. These are pretty much the same cards. Well, they're not the same cards. Tuning into the inner voice, listening to that inner voice. You know what's right, you know what's wrong. I know sometimes we can need a little help, we can need a little support, and it's nice if we can find other people who can understand where we are. But at the end of the day, it's always about you. It's always about you listening to, connecting in and listening to that inner being. And there is a thank you, there is a transformation coming. I know this is a huge time for light workers as I'm doing this. Like I said, these readings are timeless. You can watch these at any point, it really doesn't matter. But I know right now transformation is coming, and this certainly, and from what they just said to me, this certainly indicates that transformation is coming very shortly, within the next couple of months, they've said, from you receiving this message. So let's see what other messages we can get for you here. Justice and the Four of Cups. Okay, I believe these tie into the guilt and shame card here. There may be some energy within your energy system that is still holding on to some lower vibrational energy about something that's happened in the past. It could very well be where the guilt and the shame came from. We are taught these, but please remember, the people that taught us these emotions also just didn't know any better. They just taught what they know. You do what you do when you know what you know. Is that Maya Angelou? Maya Angelou? Oh, I'm sorry if I butchered that name. You know who I mean, don't you? And like we've said all along, you give what you get. You get what you give. And what goes around comes around. And what goes around will come around to these people as well. It may be that they've hurt you intentionally. It may be that they've hurt you unintentionally. But whatever the cause for their teaching you that and believing that will come back to them. And this is not about punishment. This is about karma. This is the law of energy. We choose what we want by getting into the energy that we want and choosing to give that, and that's how we drive the car. That's the pedals and the steering wheel. And a lot of this is about examining the energy that you're sitting in, I get. And doing that by looking at what it is that you're manifesting, looking what it is that you're experiencing. Let's choose a few more cards here. I'm sorry, I've been very stuttery and unable to find my words in this reading. I know that's probably something that you are experiencing as well. Or maybe will be experiencing. Okay, we've got the Two of Swords, peace, we've got the Hermit, and we've got strength. Get into that peace energy as much as possible, and also obviously the love energy. Get into that peace energy. Try and call a truce with yourself over this. Please be kind and gentle to yourself, but try and call a truce with yourself if you can. Get into that peace energy and you'll soon be seeing the light. Get into that peace energy as much as you possibly can, and there lies your strength. That's where your strength lies. I was prompted to pull some of these gold and silver angel cards. They're saying you want a little bit more practical advice. Raziel, Angel Raziel, seek the path to celestial secrets. The key is June and bringing things out into the open. Oh, I'm not going to even say that name. Rashmael? Rashmael? Open to comfort and compassion. So we've got the month of June. Obviously this time this reading, I don't know when you're watching this, but something is signalled in June. And this is quite significant, isn't it? Please remember that Spirit loves and supports you unconditionally. Spirit knows who you are. It's us who've forgotten who we are. Sometimes when we've had a really difficult, painful past, and it's been such a long, hard journey, and we feel like we've done it all on our own, we can close ourselves off to receiving or expecting to receive love and compassion. And hands up, I'm as guilty of that as anyone. This world of contrast can be so hard and so difficult in so many different ways, and sometimes we can forget that there are other people out there who are good and are kind and are compassionate, and Spirit certainly is compassionate and loving. I know you know that, following the path of light. But please remember that you are being given love all the time from Spirit, and you are being given compassion all the time. And please remember to give that to yourself as well. And please be open to receiving that from other people. What a lovely message to finish on. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you found it useful. I would appreciate if you would support me for free. If you could like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I would love to hear how you got on with the reading, how you found the reading. There's also, in the description will be my PayPal tip jar. If you found this reading helpful, I would appreciate any donation would be gratefully received. And there's also links to my social media and my website in the description box below. It's starlightworkcircle.com. I'd love you to join me there, or on any of my social media, like I said. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you found it useful, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. If you chose the smoky quartz point, I think it's a point anyway. It certainly looks like a point. And the smoky quartz anyway. Now, as far as I was ever concerned, that the smoky quartz was always about protection. But I thought, well, I'll have a little check in the book today, and it seems to be more about grounding than it is about protection. And it helps with the lower 2 chakras. And with the Daydreams and Decisions here, I get a really... Now, I wasn't confused at all about reading 1 and reading pile 1 and pile 2, but I'm getting a real sense of confusion around this. Now, I don't know whether this is you're confused about something, or whether we're a little bit off track here. I mean, I do get that you're heavily connected in, and you do, in terms of your spiritual connection, you know exactly where you are and exactly what's going on. I wonder if there's some kind of decision here about being grounded. What I'm seeing here is the top of a hill. It's like you have to make a choice. It's as if you have to make a choice. Okay, this is quite confusing. Let me see if I can catch up. I wonder if you're my very, very high vibrational group, and I've just got to catch up a little. I've just got to raise that energy a little bit more just to connect in. Yeah, this is it. Okay. There's some kind of split between the idea of raising your vibration and staying grounded. This is something actually I've experienced. It is very hard to keep raising your energy and keep raising your energy and keep raising your energy and get into that energy, and yet still stay physically grounded and living on this world, because it can feel very harsh and very jarring a lot of the time. Certainly one thing that I've been getting recently is loud noises all of a sudden tend to like really be really intensely jarring. For example, even as I'm walking down the street and a big lorry goes past, it can really kind of make me jump, especially if it's coming towards me. And I've never really been like that. It seems to be getting more and more, and it can be, I get that it can be really hard being at the highest level of vibration and still being able to function in this world of contrast. It is a huge dilemma, isn't it? Let's get straight into the... No, thank you. We're going to the Course of Miracles next. I wonder if we can... No, we're not. No, we'll do these cards and then we'll do the course. See, confusion again. Are we doing this? Are we doing this? Are we doing the other? Rebirth. Integration. And going with the flow. Certainly, we're certainly going through a rebirth. That's clear. It says it there clearly, rebirth. Now the interesting thing about this is there's a camel like in the clouds, and then there's a lion, and then above that there's a child playing a, I don't know, some kind of instrument, a flute or something. And what this card talks about is when we're in the very dense fog of 3D, we could be very sluggish and grumpy and whatever camels are. And then when we start to ascend, we become the lion, kind of leaping forward, fiercely defending our spirituality. And then the next stage is to become like an innocent child. This is about... okay, there's lots of blocks here to release around... expectations of interactions with others. This is about letting go of the need for everything to be the way we think it should be. For example, we go into a shop and the assistant's rude to us, and if we're on a high-flying disc, that can kind of knock us off that disc. And this is all about holding fast in your energy and not allowing the external to influence where we are vibrationally and emotionally. That's how we can be grounded in this earth. We can be here in a physical body, but not let other people or anything or anyone affect that. Now, a huge thing of mine is energetic and spiritual and psychic protection. This can help a huge deal when we start to expand our aura and open ourselves up to energies. It can affect us more and more and more, like I said, in different ways. But like I said, you know, like noises have been affecting me recently, and I've already done some videos on energetic and psychic protection. There's some on YouTube, there's more on my free membership on my website, and there's the full course on my membership on my website as well. But obviously you can just look into protection, but energetic protection can help. A lot of people worry with protection that it's going to cut off your interaction, but it doesn't have to. You can direct how the protection is. The other piece of advice as well is, sorry, these were this way round. It's about integrating all that energy, isn't it? It's about integration. The yin and yang, the lightness and the darkness. It's hard when we just want to get on to 5D or wherever it is that we're moving on to next, to stay here. But we came here for a reason, and a lot of spirits wanted to come here at this time, and only the select few got to experience this. And what you may need to do is start to work on integration. Now, I said in the other videos, or in the last video at least, I am starting to work on a new project. It is going to be, I'm going to be doing a whole series of bundles. I don't know how many videos on ascension and awakening. Hopefully, fingers crossed, going to be starting that soon. But like I say, this is a timeless reading. If it's been a long time since I posted this, then it may already be up and running. If you go to my website, starlightworkcircle.com, it'll say there in the Lightwork members, the Lightwork Circle members, whether that's available yet or not. If it's not, if you sign on to my free membership, or if you sign on for email updates, then I will try and remember to send out emails to let people know when that's available. Well, I will let people know when that's available. I'll also let people know on my social media as well. So if you're interested in that, please do sign up for updates or go and check my website. The other piece of advice as well is going with the flow. Try not to get too tense about where it is you've got to go. You will be guided. Yeah, you don't have to know everything right now. You will be guided as you go along. So just take one step at a time. I think what Spirit wants you to look at now is this. Keep on moving forward with your ascension work. But this is about staying grounded in the present moment, staying grounded in your physical entity, and learning how to deal with that contrast at this new higher vibration, because it can be quite a struggle. Oh my God, look at that wolf. Protection, guardian. You are safe and protected at all times. It can feel very unsafe, can't it? And it can feel very destabilizing at a higher vibrational in this physical world of contrast. And everybody who's awakening will, unless they've already dealt with this, obviously, will deal with that at some point. But Spirit want you to know you are safe, you are protected, you're on the right path, absolutely on the right path. I think you knew that already, but they just wanted to say, to confirm that for you. Don't worry too much about any decisions. Keep on raising that energy, keep on raising that energy. You will be guided as you go along. Right, let's have a look at the Course of Miracles. I'm just going to open the Course of Miracles at a random page. What I've been doing so far is I've ended up reading a whole paragraph. Okay, the branching of the road. This is quite a long paragraph, so I apologise. When you come to the place where the branch in the road is quite apparent, you cannot go ahead. You must either go one way or the other. For now, if you go straight ahead, the way you went before you reach the branch, you will go nowhere. Let me read that again. You must go one way or another. For now, if you go straight ahead, the way you went before you reach the branch, you will go nowhere. The whole purpose of coming this far was to decide which branch you will take now. The way you came no longer matters. It can no longer serve. No one who reaches this far can make the wrong decision, although he can delay. And there is no part of the journey that seems more hopeless and futile than standing where the road branches and not deciding on which way to go. Yeah, this is about choices, isn't it? Decisions, choices. Absolutely. Absolutely. Remember that you're safe. Remember that this is a natural part of ascension. We do have to stay grounded. We do have to stay grounded in our physical being. Yeah? Right, so let's pull some tarot cards, and then we'll pull an Abraham Hicks card. High Priestess, spirituality, valor, and the Ace of Wands. Wow, what amazingly beautiful cards. This is my card. This is the actual first card that I ever pulled, the High Priestess. Obviously this is all about spirituality and getting in that spirituality and connecting in and sharing that as well. They've just said to me, it does take bravery, it does take valor, it does take courage. All of this process does take valor, it does take courage. But you are either just about to, which is what I would suggest this card means, or you have had a huge spiritual revelation, or are in the process of a huge leap forward, is the way that they've just described to me. Don't worry too much about the decisions, just go with the flow. You will be guided and you are safe. Yeah, please don't think that the work that you've done is not appreciated and seen. If no one else does, Spirit sees it, and it is a huge act of courage to do this. This is very clearly a very highly attuned group, and it does get hard. It really does get hard. The law of attraction assembles all cooperative relationships. We've had this card already. Was this pile 1 or pile 2? No, it wasn't. It was a similar card though. The law of attraction assembles all cooperative relationships. I get a feeling that you're going to be guided to connect with someone who's going to help you, guide you on this journey. I can see you've done a lot of work. The struggle here is not with your connection. The struggle here is living in the contrast at that higher vibration. And I can assure you, you're not alone. So there is this vortex of becoming, a vortex that contains all the requests of all the amended requests, each and every detail of each and every asking that has emanated from you. And the law of attraction is responding to that. The vortex is literally drawing in all things necessary for the completion of every request it contains. All cooperative components are being summoned and are coming for the completion of these creations, for the answering of these questions, and for the solution to these problems. It is coming in. It is all the information that you need is coming in for this huge awakening, even higher vibration than you've been before. But first you need to master being at this vibration and being grounded and in this physical world. Spirit want to commend you on the astounding work you've done so far in raising your energy. It has taken a lot of courage. It does take a lot of courage. It does take a lot of courage. This is all about integration here. Please remember you're safe and you're protected at all times. I think I just picked up every single card there, didn't I? Shall we just rearrange them here? And we're just going to pull a few more. No, not that one. We're going to pull some of these. Let's move these up a little bit. I hope you saw all of these cards when I put them down. I've just checked and the camera's a little off, so hopefully you saw them as I was putting them down. Let's pick a few of these. These are my Greek mythology set. Let's just rearrange these a little bit. Please don't worry if being around people does drain you a little bit. You're very high vibration, and obviously energy flows from a higher vibration to a lower vibration. So being around people may be very, very tiring for you. You might want to look at my protection, energetic and spiritual and psychic protection videos. There's more on my website on the free stuff, and there's even more on my Star Lightwork Circle, Lightwork Circle membership as well. That can help reduce the amount of energy that we give out, which I get may be a problem with this group of people. Right, we've got the Queen of Cups, we've got the Lovers, and we've got the Four of Swords. Now, the Queen of Cups obviously is about a very emotionally attuned and powerful lady. Using emotions in our society are often seen as weak, aren't they? Having emotions is often seen as weak and not valued in society. Spirit values that, because that is where our power lies. That is where our power lies, in those emotions, because that is how manifestations are created. The Lovers to me is always about a choice, and like the fork in the road, one way or the other. And I hope you understand what that means from the reading that we've got so far. Sometimes it does this may just involve spending a little bit of time, quiet time on your own to make this decision. We're going back to the decisions again. That decision, daydreams and decisions, choices about being grounded, going within and working out how to apply that as well. I've just had a ringing in my ears, which means that I've got a very, very high vibrational entity trying to communicate with me. They've just said they're sending you love. Firstly, they're obviously with you, and they feel your pain, and any decision that you make will be the right decision. You can't make a wrong decision, because if you make the decision that's not in your best interest, you will learn from that and be able to make a new decision. Don't worry about this too much, but obviously they said go with the flow as well. Yeah, it may be wise, if you can, to spend a little bit of time in solitude and meditation, to have a little recoup, give yourself a little bit of compassion, work out how it is that you can navigate this for your best interest. Like I say, there's always help for you on the Star Lightwork Circle and with me, Crystal Star. And I'm just going to pull one more. But they do feel that your heart is aching. Tag us. Listen and harmonise with the music of life. Isn't that beautiful? And it goes so well with what we've got so far. The key is to focus firmly in the present. We've had that already, isn't it? This is aligning so beautifully. I'm absolutely amazed. The key is violent for psychic and spiritual development. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really glad that you did. I hope you found this reading helpful. I hope you found it useful. I hope that you understood and aligned with the messages that's come through for you today. I would appreciate your support. Free support would be like, share, subscribe, comment below. I would really appreciate that. There's also my PayPal tip jar. Any donation would be greatly accepted if you found this reading helpful. No matter how small, anything is appreciated. If at all possible, obviously it's not expected at all. Like I said, free support is appreciated just as much. Also join me on social media. All the links will be below. And also on my website. Like I said, thank you so much for joining me. I'm sending you lots and lots and lots of love and light. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.